Hello everybody! So, it was requested of me the other day on my channel update video to play through all of Dawn of War 2, or to do some more Dawn of War sort of stuff. And I was thinking about it and going, it's slightly awkward because I actually hate Dawn of War 2. I despise it with a passion. So instead what we're going to do is play some of Dawn of War 1, and I'm going to talk about why I hate Dawn of War 2. Now, it's an interesting history with Dawn of War 2 because it was made by the Company of Heroes guys, and I very much enjoyed. This is such a good game still. I really enjoyed Company of Heroes 1. I thought it was a great game. And I was thinking, when Dawn of War 2 was coming out, it looked pretty awesome. I wasn't going to pick it up myself because I was in that stage where I was pretty much mostly a console gamer at that point, and I didn't actually have a powerful enough PC that could run everything like I do now, thankfully. I'm actually thinking of getting my PC an upgrade. One of those 3070 cards look pretty good, but anyway, point being. So, I never actually played it, but I played Dawn of War 2 on a friend's PC, and I absolutely hated it. I hated the smaller scale, I hated the lack of base building, I disliked the mechanics. I felt it made it a lot more complicated than it should have been. I couldn't stomach it. The campaign wasn't too bad. I never finished it, but I went through some of the campaign and I went through some of the online, multiplayer. And multiplayer, I was just getting stomped and I just couldn't stomach it. And the campaign, again, I just didn't like the smaller scale. I preferred the bigger scale things. So when I discovered Dawn of War Ultimate Apocalypse, that was basically my jam. Well, no, Titanicus Ultimate Apocalypse was a recent discovery, but I played a lot of Dawn of War Titanicus Dark Crusade mod. So, yeah, it was kind of interesting. And then, about 6 months ago, I picked up Dawn of War 2, the complete edition, on a Steam sale, because I was like, maybe I was too harsh on it when it first came out. Maybe I'll try it again. About an hour and a half, I returned it and went, I remember why I hate this. And I've never touched Dawn of War 3. I've only watched videos of it, and it looks like something I probably wouldn't. You couldn't actually pay me to play, because I love old school RTSs. Like, I still play Age of Empires 2, Age of Empires 1, Age of Mythology. Like, that is my jam, sort of thing. And I genuinely enjoy the older style real-time strategy. It's not a dislike modern real-time strategy. Like, I love Total Wars and stuff, but I do dislike the more modern trend of real-time strategy, the more MOBA element inspired. And this is just sort of my cup of tea, really. And yeah, I like bigger open-end environments. I like base building. I like access to the, more of the map and the field. And Dawn of War 1 still holds up really well. We're playing this on hard, obviously, because, you got it mixed up a bit. I think you'll be fine against shooter boys. If the Force Commander can't do it against bloody things, then there's something wrong with them. Right. Off you go. Can we build plasma generators? No, we can build listening posts, though. So, yeah. Now, as for Dawn of War 1, I first played Dawn of War 1. Well, my brother played it, and I sort of watched over his shoulder. I had a lot of history over the years of people who would invite me around to play games, but then they'd just play the game while I'd watch. Which, in hindsight, I wasted a lot of time doing that. It was like one guy I knew who would, we'd always hang out around at his place and play games, but I don't ever think I ever played a game. Like, I actually played the game the entirety of the years I was around there. It's just interesting thought process, really. But, anyway. Ooh, armory. So, yeah, I think I first fully played Dawn of War when Winter Assault came out. And, as I said, I liked the Imperial Guard. I actually loved going through it. And then Dark Crusade. Dark Crusade was just my jam because it was just such a lot of fun. All the different races and, the interconnecting map. I mean, the giant, the world map and the different bonuses for taking on different factions. The cutscenes and the voice acting. It was just also dynamic, and it was brilliant. I mean, I think Dark Crusade, everyone remembers Commander Boreal. Oh, that's Soulstorm. What was it? Dark Crusade, I always remember the Chaos Lord from Dark Crusade. But anyway, point being that it was a lot of fun, and as I said, I like this. I like building a base. I like gradually leveling up my technology and weapons. I like feeling like that I'm organically unlocking and building things rather than just sort of, you know, congratulations, you've killed 50 orcs, here's a special bonus ability thing. And it just was never my cup of tea. So, you know, it's... plasma generators. So it was always that sort of idea behind me. I'll pop cap full, we can get rid of that. Upgrade you guys and give you heavy bolters. So yeah, as I said, I always liked the more traditional RTS style, which I always felt that Dawn of War did well. And again, as I said, people like Dawn of War 2, and I don't knock you if you love Dawn of War 2. I mean, it looks great, voice acting's good, the characters are fine, but it's just, it's not my cup of tea in terms of gameplay. I like this style, and I honestly feel that was the greatest mistake of Dawn of War 3, aside from being absolute garbage, was the fact that Dawn of War 3, they tried to mash people like me who love the base building elements, bigger feel of Dawn of War 1, with the people who like the smaller scale fighting of Dawn of War 2, but it doesn't work like that. It doesn't mesh. Ooh. It doesn't mesh together, and trying to mesh two different styles that don't work, just blech. And as I said, you know, it ended up just being more MOBA style, and that's not interesting. I'm not a fan of that. Right. Come on, heavy bolters. As I said, back in the day, this was so amazing. Like, someone who... My experience of 40k up to the point of this was a handful of 40k Blood Angels models. But it was mainly the Black Library series, and I think the Horus Heresy series. It was really pretty new at that point. And to see, like, bolters, you know, how they're actually firing and heavy bolters, and from what I had imagined in my head, I just thought it was incredible. It was just great, a great lark. Right. Oof, that autosave is a little bit clunky. I think it's probably just the age of the game. It's not as smooth as it would be in the previous... Right, build routine 17 to 1 initiated. Yep, Space Marines, attack. Get another squad in, and we'll get the Force Commander, who can stop sitting off his butt all day. Let's see if we can save some of the guardsmen. It'd be a nice thing if we could actually save some of them. I like the heavy bolters and the stuff going off. Yeah, aesthetically it's just good. You are Imperial Guard. It is about time you started acting like it. But I always felt it was odd. As I said, this was back before the days of the video game industry making me more cynical. But I always found it odd that you had Imperial Guardsmen in the campaign, but you could never actually, you know, play as them. And then they came out in Winter Assault, and I was like, oh, that's brilliant. But in hindsight, I'm kind of like, you know, it's a little dodgy that you can't play as the Imperial Guard. It does seem like maybe a bit of nickel and dime DLC sort of syndrome. I remember when it was DLC before loot boxes and stuff. At least with the old DLC passes, you'd actually get new races and interesting things. Alright, attack. Oh, I like the bolters and the heavy bolters, just mincing them. Right, attack. Save the Imperial Guardsmen. They might have shiny items we can loot. Ooh, couple enemies behind. Oh, the heavy bolters just gunning them down. Good. You know, a modern, like, Dawn of War, like Dawn of War 1 with different factions and stuff would be pretty awesome. I mean, it's just, as I said, an RTS in this style with 40k works. It wouldn't have worked so much in a Total War style because of the fact that the smaller scale you know, in Warhammer Fantasy, you have regiments, you have blocks of, you know, square blocks of infantry, and you can get through it like that. Whereas in 40k, it's either huge horde armies or specialist infantry groups, you know, blocked together. It's not a huge sort of environment that kind of necessitates the total war gameplay, but it does necessitate this sort of style of gameplay to it. And Blood Ravens, you need to stop being retarded. Just do that for me. Also, you have a flamethrower and you're attacking a building from 500 yards away. You lot... Okay. Maybe you are descended from Thousand Suns Gene Seed, because just like your Primarch, you're not very bright. Or at least you're not as bright as you think you are. Alright, may as well capture some more objectives. I want you to build me more of those. Oh, a looted Lehman Russ. Well, attack. Nice. Right, save the enemy the trouble. Right, defensive positions. Again, it's just little things like the idea you can have cover and defense bonuses for having troops in cover was so like revolutionary to me. I was like, wow, you can actually do stuff like that? That's crazy. 32nd squad, move up. Right, come on, infantry, engage. But yeah, a modern... Either what they should have done was completely lean into the stupid MOBA elements for Dawn of War 3, or more obviously, they should have leaned back and gone into this Dawn of War 1 style of gameplay, because there we go. Because, in my opinion, this is just a more preferable option. And again, you could do, like, Battlefleet Gothic Armada has kind of shown you can do, you know, 40k games with a decent graphics and budget on, you know, interesting gameplay and multiple campaigns. I mean, you can play as the Space Marine, the Imperium, you could do, they did DLC as Chaos, which, but, you know, nice to have it. Tyranids, you know, Necrons. So you could actually do a Dawn of War 1 style game with modern graphics and adventures on it without having to sacrifice much. How about you aid the Imperial Guardsmen, you morons? You've got flamethrowers, you should probably use them. Oh. Pretty cool cluster. Right. And again, like the sync kills and the melee animation, Dawn of War 1 just had so much going on. Nice. See, we Blood Ravens are good sorts. We're saving these Imperial Guardsmen so they can give us more shiny objects. If we were the Marines Malevolent or the Minotaurs, we'd have just blown them all up from orbit. As I said, the armor and the things are all cool. I know this is kind of me being pedantic, but I'd love to have seen different armor classes mixed up together. Like, I'd love to see, like, Mark 6 and Mark 4 play. I'm just a sucker for the different Space Marine armor classes, but it would have been cool to see. Right. Burn them alive. Burn them alive. I'm glad I have persistent bodies turned on. Oh. Also, to be fair, what? 2, 3, 4 times 8. Oh, we did lose a couple. 4 times 8. 32. 33. You know, you could probably take over a city with... No. 8 times 4... Yeah, 8 times 4 is 32. You could probably take over a city with 32 Space Marines, couldn't you? I mean, it depends what city you're referring to. If it's like Auckland, New Zealand, then fuck, we don't even have a army that could stop them. You'd be a bunch of cops with AR-15s that don't know how to fucking use them, and a bunch of pissed off farmers with 12 gauge shotguns who'd probably actually spend most of the time being yelled at by the fucking cops and the liberals for having firearms in the first place. Then they would have time for actually shooting at these 7-foot armored giants taking over the city. But if it was a city, say like, you know, DC in America or something, then probably 30 Space Marines wouldn't be enough. Just because they would be up against tanks and jets and drones and... I mean, a AR-15 is not going to go through fucking power armor, but if you've got an A-10 Warthog or a Bradley with its 25mm, you know, rapid-fire cannon going off, then yes, you could probably punch through power armor with something like that. Although again, it depends on what classification of the law you're referring to, because in some cases power armor is absolutely bulletproof, and other things that, you know, a simple bolt round can go through like butter. Even though unless you have vengeance rounds, I don't think you should be able to break through power armor that easily. But c'est la vie. C'est la vie. Life is cruel and treat you unfairly. And even so, the problem must be many me, you complete me. Right. Orcs have been wiped out. Nice work, Space Marines. And now we have the arrival of Librarian sells himself to Khorne, which, how does that even work? I mean, seriously, Khorne's all anti-psyker. I don't get it. How did he manage to sell himself to Khorne? Although maybe Khorne's kind of like, well, as long as you use your librarian powers to like set people on fire, rather than, you know, trying to take over people's minds, we're cool with it. I don't know. Put a bolt round to his head. See, that guy's the typical angry, arrogant Astartes dick. Oh yeah, he's a librarian, I forgot. Bleh. Nah, you arrogant sod. I do like that guy's bolt pistol. It's clearly the Space Marine model bolt pistol, just given to the human, because it looks abnormally big in his hand. He does have a pretty good power sword though. I kind of like it. Although, the little serrated spike in the middle of the blade, what would that be used for? I'm not much of a swordsman, but see, the captain, he's just got a standard sort of long sword, but he's got his sword and then he's got an elaborate crossguard and he's got the spike in the middle. It's kind of weird. Ooh. Metal box in the background. Oh, metal boxes. So many fun things have come out of the Dawn of War series. Delightful. Alright, we'll go to the next mission. We shall go to the next mission and see what we can see. Well, yes, we may as well do the next mission. Bum bum ba-dum bum bum ba-dum bum 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 ba-dum bum 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 bum. Start. This is... No, Eldar do show up in this one. I'm trying to remember the Dawn of War 1 campaign more. I know Chaos shows up eventually. Yeah, I think the Eldar do show up. Alright. Scouts of 10th Company. Wait. You do not care for sneaking about, but you're a librarian. Maybe you're natural for... natural one for Khorne. Okay. Rebel, over. Now. Oh, yes. I seem to actually recall... Infiltration... I seem to recall I nearly screwed this up, because I live streamed this a long time ago. And I nearly bollocksed it up because I got the scout squad killed. Because I was an idiot. And went in guns blazing, which is not how anything works. But, yeah. Slightly distasteful, but we have to let the Imperial Guard snuff it. Couple of dead orcs. Looks like they died from scout. Ah! Good. Sniper rifles. Right, we'll have these guys move back. That's actually weird. I always thought you could fire while cloaked. Because in regular mode you can fire while cloaked. You can have your scouts and warriors just reveal themselves and then open up the bolters. But I always thought you could. Scouts could fire while cloaked. I guess maybe not because it's a campaign and, you know, that sort of, you're just using the mechanics, but it always seemed odd to me. It's kind of funny. I have the game naturally set to Ultra, you know, because I'm running it on a 1080, but it's kind of funny just seeing the blocky gun textures. I know you're used to seeing them like up here, and from up here the game looks perfectly fine. But it's like you move in a bit closer and it's like, aged slightly. But, you know, all the march and age of technology. You got to do what you can with what you have, where you are. I bet those greenskin corpses probably smell. Right, infiltrate, and we'll sneak around. Oh, that's right. I remember you have to go up here, and then you have to sneak around. Otherwise the orcs will detect you. Yeah, I remember. There's a little bit of not railroading. Yeah, because they can see you. Back up a bit. Not railroading. Hand-holding. Kinda you have to play the game a bit the game's way rather than you can, you know, safe to play it your way sort of thing. Now I think, yeah, I think you can sneak this way if you do it right, but in the past I went up here while they were going over there and then snuck around behind, but that's alright. Right, sneak. Sneaky, sneaky stealth. Right, well, scout squad can go, one scout squad can go there, other scout squad can go there. Good.
I command in the name of the Emperor.
Ah. Space Marines, attack. Scout squads, fall back. Space Marine squads, move in. Force Commander, charge. Scout squad. Right. Why are you standing the other way, you idiot? Open fire. There are enemies around you and you're standing there playing the biscuit game. What's wrong with you? You're supposed to be gene-forged warriors of the Emperor, not a bunch of Nancy boys. Right. It's satisfying seeing greenskin corpses. It just inspires confidence to see a whole bunch of dead orcs. Right. Maybe you would like to move up a bit. That way you can get your bolters into line of fire. Meanwhile, scouts can move up and out the back so they can keep shooting with the sniper rifles but not be in the immediate chronic way. Scouts can capture that one. Right, you can fire there. Force Commander can deal with that. You can deal with that. Scouts are still doing that. You can do that. Alright. And I think that should be objective complete. Good. It's a question of should we go back and take some of these objectives and get us some more requisition. Right, I suppose that's the logical place to put it. Hey, well, why don't we send the Marines and the Force Commander back to go deal with and take those positions just for the sake of it, and the Scouts can hold the front up here. I mean, it gets us good requisition and it removes some greenskins from behind us. I don't see anything too wrong with this idea. But yeah. What else? I've just sort of been talking from a stream of consciousness. Opinions on the Blood Ravens? Yeah, they're pretty good. They should just get round and confirming that they're Loyalist Thousand Sons, honestly. Or using Loyalist Thousand Son GNC, because personally I think the whole, sneaky secret origin stuff is getting boring. They should just at least be a bit more open with it. Yeah, it's just kind of bland otherwise. I mean, that's one of the things of the canon of, and one of the things I hate about the Horus Heresy series, honestly, is they're trying to hype us up for shit that we know is going to happen. So it's things like, oh, Fulgrim got shot in the head by Nicoya Sharikan in Angel Exterminatus. Oh no, he might die. But he's established to have become a demon prince, and obviously he doesn't die, so the fact he got shot in the head is literally pointless. And you're just trying to overhype us for shit that we know is never going to come to pass. So why are you bothering? Yeah, it's just sort of moments like that that always make me go, really? And with the Blood Raven's origin, it's kind of like, listen, we know. You don't need to, like, ram it down our throats, but we know. Maybe just confirm it, and that would be nice. Damn it, you didn't take that. I wanted these guys to go over here, along with the Force Commander. Yeah, it's just one of the things that have always bugged me, really. It's kind of like, we know. You don't need to... Like, you are trying to hype stuff that we're already currently aware of is kind of a nonsense one. Also, it reminds me, very old White Dwarf now. Someone actually made... They did a... they did this battle as a battle report. I remember, like, this battle as a battle report in an old White Dwarf. And someone actually built the chapel barracks and the stronghold and the plasma reactors, and it was such cool when I was young. I was like, wow, like, that's amazing. You actually built models of the stuff from the game. That's so cool. I know it's just a little thing now, but it kind of is still pretty awesome even to this day in a way. Although I have seen some pretty awesome model build things over the years. What is our objective? Establish a base. Okay. Ah yes, here we go. I wanted to kill these greenskins. Honestly, I just wanted them to die. I don't like the idea of leaving orcs alive behind me, so let's just gun them down. And avenge the poor Imperial Guardsmen that they killed. Let's see who can get them first. Oh, there's more bloody shooter boys up here. Just die, please. Good. I am glad that that is fine. Armory. Someone else needs the plasma reactor, because you can never have enough. And we can send the rest of the Space Marines back to where they were. Right. Done. Cleared out some orcs. Wiped out some things. All in good fun. Now I'll save my requisition. I'll get another tactical squad. I kind of forgot how you don't get access to like Predator tanks or Assault Marines or anything super fun this early on. Kind of be nice if we could get access to it, at least turrets or something. I'm going to scout, infiltrate. I'm going to may as well scout out what we need to be looking for. See if there's anything too grand. Orc boys, slugger towers, a couple of bigger camps. One camp down here. Oh, we'll take a few Space Marine boys to clear out, but that's not the worst in the world. So, objective, cleanse the valley. Orc bases, alright, so they want the bases gone. It's rather disappointing. I did wish I could get access to more turrets or infantry or something. Alright, well, Scout Squad can hang back. Oh, I forgot. It's not like the later games that if you select a whole group it allows you to deselect just a specific one, but that was alright. Thank you! I'm finally being able to unlock some better stuff. Right, well we have more than enough of a... Oh, upgrade you. But I think we have more than enough forces to at least attack down the valley a bit. Oh, just look at the hail of bolt shells. I just love those orcs just rock up and immediately just get splattered into friggin' rounds of paste. Oh, it's great. Now, isn't it 250? Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sure I am close to 250. Right, you squad over there, you go over here. Right. Quite a few orcs. No casualties yet, which is nice. Shame to have to lose any of the fine members of the Adeptus Astartes on Greenskin Rebels, although I kind of like that this is how Greenskin should be. They die easily, but I mean, look how many more of them keep coming. You're using up more bolt shells than there are orcs. As usual, turrets always the biggest threat. Ah, they go down so easily. Right, I might push the Force Commander back. Just for the sake of health and let some firepower, some of the boys' firepower deal with this. Alright, always worth upgrading those to get more access to requisition. Nice. Oh, brilliant. Oh yeah, just thinking about fun, you know, odd little Dawn of War packs. I remember only had like a 500 gig PC. No, it wasn't even 500 gig PC. It was like 100 gig PC. It was really small. Like, it could run this, but it was, you know, the games altogether came up to like 11 gig, like up to Dawn Dark Crusade. So he actually had a 500 gig external hard drive, and it's hilarious now in size because it was the size of a VHS tape. And I mean, nowadays they're the size of like your thumb, basically. But we had a 500 gig hard drive, and we had all of the Dawn of War games stored on that. So it's kind of interesting, really. And that was sort of... Oh, it gives me access to sergeants. I was hoping I could get Assault Marines or something more. I think the least we can do is grant everyone a sergeant, a couple of missile launchers. You've got heavy bolters. You've got plasma. You can get plasma guns. You've got heavy bolters, so I guess you can get more heavy bolters. We'll get a couple more squads. I would like to get a couple more squads. Are there any objectives down here? Not hugely. Of course, I can go over there. And you can go back up here. You can get plasma guns now. Oh, I kind of wish I could get assault marines or tanks. Maybe I'm just impatient. Oh, I'm just an impatient lad. I have plasma guns. Right. Well, we'll keep cruising up the valley and kill some more orcs. I mean, killing orcs as always looks good on the old Space Marine resume. Oh yes, missile launchers. And the purple, blue... It's not purple, it's blue. And the blue bolts of plasma death. Right. Send them up there as reinforcements. Oh, there's quite a lot of orcs incoming. Fire support squads might want to deal with that. Funny little plasma gun animations, but the fact that they still glow. Ah, so good. Good times. Right,
I command in the name of
Missile
the Emperor.
launchers. I want to see if we can pour a bit more hot death down upon these guys. Oh, he died, but he came back again. Well, I'm actually grateful that this isn't one of those things where if the Force Commander dies, you lose sort of thing. Because that would be incredibly frustrating if that was the case. How many missile launchers have you got? 2. Yeah, we should give you at least 3. How did your missiles go through them, captains? Eh? If we can destroy most of this stuff from over here, then we can have a bit of fun. It'll be a bit of an easier time. And since we've got a narrow causeway here, they're literally just running into our bolt rounds. No casualties? No casualties. Right. Objective captured. Let's move up ahead. A couple more squads. We may as well have the better part of... What do you reckon this company... Oh, isn't it Third Company? The Blood Ravens... Was Third Company the company that went to Soulstorm? What company are we rocking? Now, yeah, the trim doesn't... I went in to look at the trim. I was like, Green Trim's 4th Company, and then I'm like, wait, this is a freaking early 2000s game. Do you think they'll have more accurate trim? No, of course not. Oh, it's naturally the squad with the missile launchers. They have to fight the killer cannon melee. No, you idiots. You friggin' morons. You have missile launchers, so you charge into the enemy in close combat. How does that have any logical sense, you fools? You're going to beat them to death with the missile launcher tube? No, that's not how anything works. Right. Oh, I lost the Space Marine. His sacrifice will be remembered to the Emperor, who will shed a microscopic tear, apparently. Though I seem to doubt that the Emperor is capable of any emotion after sitting 10k years on that bloody throne of his. I always supported the Malkador de Sigillito Rebute Gilliman mindset of the Imperium of it should be about humanity. And the Emperor is kind of a one-track note. His ideals are good, but the Emperor himself is very fallible. And it's kind of, you should just follow the ideas rather than the person. Which is something to be said for all ideologies, really. Alright. More plasma guns. Right, and this way. Oh, yeah, where's the Force Commander? Force Commander can probably meet us over there as well. And we've got 2 more squads of reinforcements to plug into the breach. And they can go in as well. Probably send the scouts out as well, but build another plasma generator. I don't know, keep you off the unemployment line if you build something new servitors. Right. Force Commander is here as well. Have you got the old number grouping? Let's see something else just for a moment. Good. Alright, you've got the old control number grouping. Thank you. That'll make controlling you mob, dedicated Imperial soldiers much easier. Blowing enemies up and reducing them to powder is a nice thing. Bloody red paste in the missile launchers. That's the fire. See, if they weren't so temperamental, I think everyone should have plasma weaponry. The Dark Angels do have a good idea. It's just the problem is it's far too susceptible to blowing up. And I think Volkite weapons should make a comeback in 40k. I mean, they're so good in 30k, why did you stop using the Martian ray guns? Is it just because they happen to be a standard weapon around the Heresy camp out? That's a bit petty if that's the case. I mean, Volkites work perfectly satisfactory. And it's also kind of one of the stupid arguments of not using loyalist members of traitor legions. I mean, hello, they're loyal warriors. They've declared themselves. You've got a free Space Marine right there. Why would you, you know, censor or treat them with suspicion? Just use them. Send them out and fight enemies. I mean, it doesn't make much sense not to use an asset that you have on hand. More reinforcements. Plug them into the breach. A couple more flamers and a couple more plasma guns. And the greens can just die. Excellent. For the Emperor. Cleanse the valley. 2, 3, 4. 4. What was 3? 7. 7 times 8. 7 times 8. 22, 64, 56. So you got 56 Space Marines there. That's not bad. Is this where the demon voice starts? Yep. The Alpha Legion bastard starts talking to him. Oh, don't listen to the evil, chaotic voices, you idiot. I mean, good. Although, to be fair, look at his eyes. He's already got bloodshot eyes. It's very clear that he's already chaoticified. Well, I think that's somewhere to call it. If you want me to carry on with this, then I may as well do so in the future. But for now, I think that is enough for today. Farewell.